YouTube Live. How's it going? This is Rama Screen. It's Saturday morning here in San Diego. Day hmm, one, two, three. Day three of Comic Con, Comic Con 2018. So it's been a busy weekend. Yesterday I was at the press rooms, various press rooms the whole day, interviewing so many celebrities and talents. So much fun as always every summer. So yeah, Comic Con 2018. But one news pretty much took over took the oxygen out of the whole thing yesterday and just like consumed everybody's minds when it hit the web. It's the news about the firing of director filmmaker James Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Marvel and Disney, Disney owns Marvel. They have decided to let James Gunn go, and it's funny because I think I was in the press room for Voltron, the legendary Defender, when one of the press members in that room said, "Hey man, check out this tweet. It's all over the Twitter sphere. It was trending like crazy." It's like, my goodness, Marvel has fired James Gunn. That's insane. James Gunn, who gave us two Guardians of the Galaxy movies. The first one of which that I like, the second one not so much, but they were both commercially successful movies. So it's a big deal when somebody like James Gunn got fired. It's like, whoa. So I texted my friend Scott Manzel. It's like Scott Manzel is the founder of LA Online Film Critics Society, which I'm a member of. Dude, is this true? Is it true? And Scott was also in another press room, so he couldn't verify it at the time too. I couldn't verify because inside that press room there was dead zone. I couldn't really look up stuff on the internet on my phone. Uh, and he said, "Yeah, it's true. It's insane." So let me give you the whole context here. Um, I think various outlets reported it, and I want to give you the responses from some of the people, not just on Twitter, but some influential folks. The Hollywood Reporter, Variety reported it. Um, Disney and Marvel fired James Gunn. They made the announcement yesterday. From Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, they fired him from that project over his old tweets that he tweeted from between 2008 and 2011. And I'm making, shortening it here. I don't want to read the whole report on their outlet, but basically uh, it's tweets regarding pedophilia and rape. Now, I want to give you some of what he tweeted. All right, um, because there were people screenshot, there were some screenshots of the actual tweets. I want to say to you what he actually tweeted later, soon enough. So stay with me here. Um, that's pretty much it. Let me give you the Disney statement. Walt Disney Studios chairman Alan Horn said in a statement, and I quote, "The offensive attitudes and statements discovered on James's Twitter feed are indefensible and inconsistent with our studio's values, and we have severed our business relationship with him." Whoa, what's going on? What are these indefensible and indefensible and tweets that he tweeted? What the hell? That Disney's like, whoa, you've crossed the line. We can't work with you anymore. What is going on? Um, Now you're getting curious, right? Especially if you're in a press room at Comic Con. It's like, oh, what exactly did he tweet? What this madness that's going on. So let's see here. I want to give you the tweets, but before I pull it up, and then I'll give you my reaction to it. Um, where's the Oh, I'm not connected to Wi-Fi. My apologies. There you go. Now I'm connected to Wi-Fi again. Um, Now I'm looking up the tweets. So that was so insane. It's like James Gunn has made Disney and Marvel so much money. What could be this so bad that Disney and Marvel said like we can't defend you anymore. We can't even make statements in defense of you anymore. Um, what is this thing? So let me get this up. By the way, how are you guys going doing? If you guys are at Comic Con this weekend, um, take some time to meet with me. I'll be around. I check out the exhibit floor. Okay, here it is. So one of the tweets that James Gunn tweeted, and I quote: "Eagle snatches kid is what I call it when I get lucky." Hmm. That's, yeah. All right. Another one is, and I quote: "The Expendables was so manly, I fucked the shit out of the little pussy boy next to me. The boys are back in town." That's the tweet that he tweeted out back in 2010. That's when the first Expendables movie hit theaters, I believe. Um, the other tweet that people screen these are screenshots of his actual tweet that the of his actual tweets that people shared on Twitter sphere yesterday. Video: 100 pubescent girls touch themselves. So apparently James Gunn sort of like retweeting a link to a video of this. I never checked the video. Uh, Another tweet by James Gunn. This is one from 2011, and he said, "I'm doing a big Hollywood film adaptation of The Giving Tree with a happy ending. The tree grows back and gives the kid a blowjob." Uh, okay. Before I give you my reaction, I'm giving you the context, right? I'm giving you what James Gunn tweeted, and I'm giving you Disney's statement yesterday, and now I'm giving you James Gunn's response. Um, this was yesterday too. No, this was from Thursday, I believe. So maybe the firing happened Thursday, and then it got reported um, on various outlets starting yesterday. So James Gunn tweeted a series of tweets apologizing on his Twitter account and explaining his side of the story. So let me give you his response. And I quote: "Many people who have followed my career know when I started, I viewed myself as a provocateur, making movies and telling jokes that were outrageous and taboo. As I have discussed publicly many times, as I have developed as a person, so has my work and my humor. It's not to say I'm better, but I am very, very different than I was a few years ago. Today, I try to root my work in love and connection and less in anger. My days saying something just because it's shocking and trying to get a reaction are over. In the past, I have apologized for humor of mine that hurt people. I truly felt sorry and meant every word of my apologies. For the record, when I made these shocking jokes, I wasn't living them out. I know this is a weird statement to make and seems obvious, but still here I am saying it. Anyway, that's the completely honest truth. I used to make a lot of offensive jokes. I don't anymore. I don't blame my past self for this, but I like myself more and I feel like a more full human being and creator today. Love you to you all. Okay, so I gave you the context of what happened, Disney's statement, uh, James Gunn's actual tweets, unfiltered, um, and James Gunn's response. Um, so, what do I think of this whole controversy? I think there's plenty of blame to go around. All right. I'm not one of those like, oh, Disney's right. Fuck you, James Gunn. Or, oh, that's not fair. James Gunn, it's free speech. James Gunn can say whatever he wants. Fuck you, Disney. No, 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 no. I think there's plenty of blame to go around. Okay. Let me explain to you. Let's start first with Disney, and you can disagree with me if you like. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Um, Disney, making the announcement, they during Comic Con weekend. That's like, I don't know their intent. I don't know their hearts. I don't know the executive's heart. I don't know the producer's I don't heart. I don't know. I can't read their minds. But for it to happen during Comic Con weekend, when Marvel and Disney don't have an appearance at Comic Con this year, the optics. Okay, I'm talking about the optics, the appearance, public perception. People could perceive that as like, wow, you're dropping this bomb, so like I said earlier, you suck the oxygen out of the room. So people talk about this instead of the stuff that we're supposed to be talking about at Comic Con. Do you see where I'm getting? There's all kinds of shit going on, being promoted at Comic Con, but now we're talking about this instead. So the optics, people can perceive it as a publicity stunt. Not to mention that yesterday, unfortunately, we lost from Collider. He passed away. But no, instead of like mourning or instead of remembering his legacy, Gunn getting fired. Um, so the timing of the announcement, the optics could be seen as like, oh, Disney just trying to get publicity, trying to get, people get to talk about them during Comic Con, because they don't have an appearance here. So that's number one. Number two, you should know who. Okay, and I've mentioned this to you before in my video reaction when the directing team for Solo, a Star Wars story, got fired. Do you remember them? Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Um, they got fired over creative differences. They clashed with Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy with regards to the vision and the direction for Solo, a Star Wars story. They even clashed. With regards to how things are supposed to be run on the set of that film. Um, and part of my defense, not a whole defense. Remember, there's plenty of blame to go around. Part of my defense for the directing team was that, come on, Lucasfilm, come on, Disney, you should know who you hire, right? I mean, like, if you hire Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the guys behind Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the guys behind the Lego Movie, these guys, have comedic timing. They're otherwise, don't hire them in the first place if you're not gonna let them be them. So my trademark, and it's like, oh, did I get this right? Okay, she always says like, you do you, you do you. Not gonna let them do them or be them. I was like, so why hire them in the first place? There's no point to that. So that's my defense of the directing team. Back to did you directed this R-rated and also an R-rated superhero movie called Super, and he also did a PG-13. It's a parody for Funny or Die website, PG-13 porn, where the premise is that they go around, giving rides to girls on this van. It's a parody of the Bang Bus. So did you know that? Before you hired James Gunn, that's his background. That's his style. that was his sense of humor. He's not a comedian, but that's his comedy. All right, R-rated. That's his back. That's his previous gig, of course, among many other stuff. Um, So that's number two. All right, plenty of blame to go around. Number three, and I told my friend this, like this is kind of scary. Like, so will this set a precedence that whenever Disney or Marvel hire a filmmaker or considering a potential filmmaker for their project, um, so if the filmmaker comes to the meeting and says, "Okay, here's what I'm pitching, here's what I'm envisioning for this character," Disney and Marvel will be like, "Oh, we don't care about your resume or your pitch. We just need to see your tweets from 6 years ago." So is it gonna be like a hiring requirement? It's like that they have to. It's like a vetting process that they have to really look up or dig up all your tweets um, to see whether or not you're worthy of being hired by them. And no, and if you also wonder that in a general, in generality, you wonder also if you apply for jobs out there, like, oh my God, what if the company that I'm applying for a job for, they're like gonna be like looking up my Facebook posts, my Instagram, and some say like, yeah, they have the right to do so because they want to make sure that they hire people that will fit their culture. And that's Disney's defense with regards to James Gunn, as I mentioned in the statement. Um, but that could be that sounds invasive, and also it gives a sense like we or filmmakers are not allowed to joke around anymore, no matter how unfunny they are. Okay, I don't find James Gunn's tweets particularly funny. I thought they were distasteful, all right, tasteless jokes. Um, Sorry, James, I love you, but these are just crude and garbage stuff that you tweeted, man. You don't have what it takes to be a roaster on Comedy Central's roast. Okay, just want to put it out there for you, James. Um, Leave the roasting to the roasters, to Jeff Ross, to people who know how to do it. You don't know how to do it, man. Um, but back to Disney. Okay, so is that gonna be like that? Like if they meet filmmakers, the filmmakers have to be worried about Disney and Marvel digging up their past, probably. So, oh my God, what if the thing that happened to James Gunn happens to me? So those are the 3 points that I want to make on the about the side of Disney. Now, plenty of blame to go around. Now let's go to the side of James. Um, Number one, what I just said. Those are not funny jokes. Those are not funny tweets. That's crude. That's tasteless. That's I'm like, I don't even understand it. Like, why do you gotta like make that such a comment? Of, if you like the Expendables, just like be macho and celebrate it. Like, F the pussy boys. I was like, what is that? What is that, James? Again, leave the roasting to those who know how to roast. Okay, leave the jokes to the comedians. Some people, you know, are not comedians, but they can be naturally funny. But you don't got it, James. I'm sorry. You may have it from time to time. All right. You may have it like, when you present at Comic Con, you can be funny up there on the stage. I liked you. All right. At the press junkets, you got that sense of humor. Nice. But these tweets are not your best work, man. Nah, no, 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 no. So, yeah, I wouldn't tweet that. I wouldn't tweet any of those if I were you. Number two, um, here's the thing. If you are a private person, right, you have a personal Twitter account, and then you become a public celebrity, a person who other people look up to because you got hired by big studios or because you have big influence. By that time, you have more power than you did before. And you know how I do, man. I believe in Stan Lee. with great power comes great responsibility. If you have a big platform, if you have a big bullhorn, you gotta do it wisely, man. Um, Especially when you only have one Twitter account. So James, you should have what you should have done is you should have asked your PR to um, delete those crappy tweets, from a decade ago. People do that. People do that when they get hired by company or whatever. Sometimes they do that. There's politicians when they get hired by the president. They I kid you not, they deleted their old tweets uh, that made them sound like they are against the president's policies. That has happened. Either do that or create a new Twitter account, because by now you are a public person and you are a professional. You work representing this company, this new culture, and so you delete your personal account and you create. So that's what you probably should have done, James. Right? Or either delete the tweets or delete the personal Twitter account completely and create a new one, so you can start afresh, with tweets about just being filmmakers. So that's what you should have done, James. All right. There's a risk that comes with blending your personal and professional Twitter account at the same, no, all in one. I do that. Unfortunately, I only have one Twitter account, and if you follow me on Twitter, I'm very political. I'm a liberal. I'm a democratic socialist. I'm a Bernie supporter. So I'm not shy away about that. Okay, I'm very open about that. So maybe one day I'm gonna have to, God willing, I get bigger somehow. I'm gonna have to open another account or delete some of the stuff I said in the past. Who knows? Who knows? But there's a risk that comes with blending the personal and the public personas together in one Twitter account. There's a risk that comes with that, and you should have known that, James. You should have known that. Um, so that's number two. All right. Number three, again, there's plenty of blame to go around. I just laid out the points, blaming Disney, and now I'm laying out the points blaming James Gunn. Um, James, you got hired by Disney and Marvel. Okay, Disney owns Marvel. They are a family-centric company, man. So that goes with my previous point. When you get hired by somebody or a company of such culture with demographics centered on families, then yeah, maybe you should have deleted those old tweets, or, like I said, create a new account and deleted the one. Um, because as you know, Disney also owns ABC, and look what the ABC did a few months ago. They fired Roseanne Barr for her racist comment. Now, do I think James Gunn's tweets that I mentioned to you earlier are on the same level of offense as Roseanne Barr? I don't think so. Again, want to iterate, I don't like James' tweets, okay? I read it to you. They're tasteless, they're garbage, they're not even funny. I don't even understand half of what he said. So, but Roseanne Barr, for the past few years, has had a consistent history of hateful and racist comments. All right. Um, that's how she ranted on Twitter. So I was not surprised when she got fired by ABC and Disney. But that goes to show again that they have a zero tolerance when it comes to these kinds of things, because they want to make sure, they want to protect their brand. All right. So James, you gotta know, man, if you get hired by a company, you are expected to abide by their culture, especially if it's a private company. Now, a lot of folks out there on Twitter said yesterday, "Oh, it's free speech. It's, come on, you gotta let James Gunn say whatever he wants. It's free speech, free speech." Yeah, I'm all for free speech, me too. You know me, I curse a lot, and even people who disagree with me, I let them say whatever they want because they have the right to free speech. But it's a different setting with private stuff. Private companies, it's a different story if Disney is a government entity. It's not. It's a private company. Private companies can set their own rules, just like private universities. They can set their own rules. So if it's, if they want to be Christian university, if they want to be Muslim university, because it's privately funded. Um, so yeah, James, you should have known that. All right, you signed that contract. Like, I'm gonna be an employee. I'm gonna be a filmmaker for Disney and Marvel, and Disney and Marvel are family centric. So that's my point three, blaming James. Um, Let me give you some of the responses yesterday on Twitter sphere. Of course, there's people taking Disney's side. There's people taking James Gunn's side. Many of the people taking James Gunn's side, I noticed, are from the bloggers and the YouTubers. I'm part of that community. Um, I think Eric Vespe is like, what is this bullshit? I can't believe it. Filmmakers can't, have their own jokes around now. I mean, they can't joke around anymore. They have to be serious all the time. Something along that line. Okay, I'm paraphrasing what Eric Vespa said. Um, Joel, who is a friend of mine, he's a critic. He also posts like, oh, apparently film directors are now held to a higher standard than our president, and he has a point. President Trump, come on, he has tweeted, worse and said worse things. He agitates, he provokes, he still does it, and yet there's no repercussion. Sometimes I wish we could fire our president of the United States as easily as Disney and Marvel fired Roseanne and James Gunn. But unfortunately, when it comes to impeachment, there's a whole process that comes with that. It's but I'm not gonna go into that. It's politics, so that's a topic for another time. So those are the responses on social media in defense of James Gunn, and of course there's responses also in defense of Disney. They're like, oh, I'm so sickened by James Gunn's tweets. I just saw the screenshots. Oh, F you, James, stuff like that. So again, I'm not taking sides. I'm on the argument of there's plenty of blame to go around, and there's no easy solution to this. Yeah, I feel bad. I feel so bad for James Gunn because he is such a good filmmaker. At the same time, I think he's gonna be okay. He's gonna be just fine. He's not in career jail like Chris Hardwick. He's not like driven out of town, Tinseltown. James Gunn could just go back to doing his old R-rated stuff. That's what he did before he got hired by Disney and Marvel. Like I said earlier, Slither, Super, most of his previous gigs were rated R. Um, so he probably, if James, you should use this as an opportunity. Like, okay, now I could, breathe more easily. I could just, have more creative. I have more creative freedom now to do whatever I want, to tell whatever story I want. So if you look at this from that angle, James, you should feel liberated. Um, so yeah, bro, those are my thoughts. I know it's a long one. It's almost 30 minutes here. Just cautionary tale. If you wanna work for a private company, because I've worked for a private company before in the past, and I've gotten in trouble because of what I said in the past. So make sure you know what you signed on for. And again, I understand the argument that says, "Oh, come on, man, we all have said stupid shit in the past, right? We gotta give some room to grow." That's what my friend Diana said in response to James Gunn. For me, Rama, I just want to let you guys know, I am not the asshole that I used to be. I used to be more of a jerk, but I've grown. All right, I've learned more. I've I've tolerated more. I've learned to open my mind more. I've communicated and interacted with more diverse people, and learn from their point of view, and that made me grow as a person. So when I was younger, I was stupid. You know, um, sometimes that's how it goes, unless you choose to stay stupid the entire time. However, older you get, now that could be problematic. Um, last lesson before I go. Be careful what you tweet. Okay, be careful what you put out there into the world. All right, because it might come back to bite you. Um, when you put something on the internet, that's right, Grudge Movie Reviews. There's plenty of blame to go around. Yeah. Uh, you think that you may have like deleted your browser history or your cache, but they're not really actually, erased forever. There's this thing called there's time machine. No, back machine back. I forgot what it was. It's an outlet that basically digs up old websites and blogs. That's what happened to Joy Reid. So just make sure when you tweet, when you blog, when you put something out there, um, don't be stupid about it. The Wayback Machine. That's right. Grass Movie Reviews. Wayback Machine. So be smart about it. Okay. Just keep it to what you want to say. Keep it short, straightforward, to the point. If you can't really joke, don't joke. As I said, James Gunn, you don't have it, man. You don't have it. That's a bad roast. Okay. You're a terrible roaster. You can't do it, man. Um, because it might come back to bite you. All right. Nothing is really erased on the internet. Once you put it out there, it's there forever. Um, oh, before I go, I want to ask you, whoever dig this up, about James Gunn's old tweet from a decade ago, you gotta wonder, this person must have had some personal vendetta against James Gunn. I mean, like, for somebody, spending that much time, like, oh my God, I'm gonna go on the Wayback Machine and try to discredit James Gunn. Like, wow, like it sounds like somebody with a mission. So that person is also a bit of a dick, whoever that person is. Um, if you're a public figure, just be careful, man. There, what people love more than building up celebrity is tearing them down. Um, and then Trump talk as a catalyst. Yeah, that's another thing for another time, Garage. Good point. So what people, society, love more than building up or adoring celebrities or public figures, what they love more than that is tearing them down, or either equally. So when you get to that point, just be careful. Okay, again, either delete those old tweets or create a new account and